The final whistle is sounded in Bulldog Stadium, marking the end of another season. All that remains are the echoes to remind those of the glorious contests that took place here. And although the postseason may have eluded the Bulldogs this year, there's no doubt this team is only one step away. While the legends may be made on this field, they first must pass the test on one less glamorous.
When camp started, first thing I wanted to do was to make sure that we didn't start too fast during camp. When you start so fast, you can cause serious injuries, which can cause problems in individual personnel. Number one, we just wanted to take some type of momentum into the off season with hard work ethics, increasing our speed with plyometrics, increasing our strength, setting goals for each person. We felt if we did those things during the off season, that we could definitely start off with a positive outlook for the 98 football season.
With the help of Larry Archie and Rich Reddix, to name a few, Coach Wood had a host of football talent to keep his team on track.
3-19, down.
In the end, all the work paid off. With a huge win over Cheney, the Bulldogs were 1-0.
Going into the John C. Smith game, we had a week off. We had a chance to heal some injuries, and it sort of backfired on us as far as having a week off. A lot of people say they had the week off to help with the injuries and all. What happened in our case that we had a couple scrimmages during practice, and it caused some problems. It caused some injuries.
In the home opener, Bowie's defense showed up in force, stopping Johnson C. Smith cold on their first two possessions.
Handoff to Stokes, trying to get away from the black and gold, can't do it.
And they might have got a few yards, but as you can see, there's nothing doing in the middle of that defense.
A handoff to Stokes, and Mike Cox is there to bring him down.
It took a special teams fumble before the Golden Bulls got on the board with this touchdown run.
Option again, touchdown, Golden Bulls.
With the Bulldogs down 7-0, Rondell Prather showed why the Bowie secondary was tops in the conference.
He's going to pass, pressure, Bowie State, intercepted. He could go all the way before being knocked out of bounds. Number 26.
Inspired by his teammates' play, Jimmy Whitehead answered by leading his Bulldog offense downfield.
Three receivers set. Pass complete to the tight end. Handoff to Bickford. Outside, finds room, and he is running. Whitehead back to pass. Has some time. Complete to Tyquan Murray. Three receivers to the near side. Turner, Rader, and Plater. Pass is complete, and it's going to be close. We got a pass interference call here. On Joey May, Andre Turner with the reception.
They picked up a blitz in the interior of that line, gave Whitehead time. Great play all around by Bowie State. Now they're really going to be in position to do some damage.
Jimmy Whitehead, shotgun formation, has a lot of time in the end zone, and it's intercepted. And the Golden Bulls once again preventing the Bulldogs from scoring.
That pick ended the half, but Bowie refused to give up. By starting William Mack the second half, Coach Wood gave a much-needed spark to the Bowie offense.
Mack to pass. Ray Hawkins caught it in the flats, still on his feet. Pass caught by Newell. He goes out of bounds.
The sophomore from Upper Marlboro set off an offensive explosion rarely seen at Bowie State. But late in the game, the Bulldogs found themselves trailing by 8 and badly needing a score. Now, with time winding down, Coach Wood called on Mack one more time. He responded by leading his Bulldog offense downfield and pulling his team within 2 with this touchdown pass to Glenn Newell.
Going up top, Glenn Newell, touchdown, Bowie State, and the penalty. So the touchdown is back on the scoreboard. We do have a penalty flag with 6 seconds remaining.
Needing the 2-point conversion to send the game into overtime, the Bulldogs went to their sure thing, Ray Hawkins. But this time came up just short.
They give a pitch out. Oh, no! Ray Hawkins still on his feet, and he is stopped, and the Golden Bulls have held the Bowie State Bulldogs.
With the first of only 3 losses on the season, this even Bowie's record at 1-1. The mark of a great coach is said to lie in his ability to keep his team together in the darkest of times. After a stunning loss to Livingstone dropped the Bulldogs to 1-2, it looked as though the Bowie State team might be rapidly approaching that time.
Immediately, we had to talk to our guys following that Livingstone game. Even from the locker room standpoint, we had a couple of defensive players who was feeling very down. They felt that they played a solid game, and there were some things that happened throughout the ball game that didn't allow our offense to get in the end zone. Immediately, we just mentioned to them that just keep your heads up. It's going to come. We also had a sense of urgency throughout that week of practice, preparing for Virginia Union.
That strong sense of urgency carried over from practice to the Virginia Union game, with Bowie State's hallmark defense controlling the entire first quarter of the contest.
Season opening over the middle, knocked away at the last second by number 5, Lorenzo Carter. Play fakes, gets a little pressure, and is brought down by number 8 for the Bulldogs. That is Sonny Pritchett. Defensive discipline comes through for the Bulldogs.
With the black and gold defense holding Virginia Union to just 7 points, it was now time for the offense to take a turn. And William Mack gladly obliged.
William Mack looking up top, and what a catch by Tyquan Murray. Has plenty of time. Out and flash to Chris Rader, who takes on a blocker. Plenty of time looking up. He's got Andre Turner, who fights hard to get to the 18. 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. In the shotgun, Mack looking over the middle. What a catch by Chris Rader, and there's a touchdown for Bowie State.
On that play, Chris Rader grabbed his only touchdown on the season and sent Bowie to the locker rooms tied at 7.
We need to start off with a good, solid drive coming out here like you really want it, like you need enough to get it. I guarantee you, all the things we just did defensively, I guarantee you, we come out here and get on top, it's out.
After the half, Bowie State's defense picked up where it left off before, steady pounding Virginia Union into submission.
He will drop back. Oh, first play of the second half will be a handoff to Braxton, caught from behind by Mike Cox. First and 10. Dropping back, Thompson. Quick pass picked off by Rod Williams. Will fake the pass and roll out. Finds a little opening on the outside, but right there to put him down is number 58, Rod Taylor.
Eventually, Virginia Union scored, and with the Bowie State offense beginning to sputter, Coach Wood called on Week 1 starter Jimmy Whitehead to see if he could turn things around.
He will throw the route to Plater, who catches it for a first down and will keep going to the 45. What a play by Stacy Plater. Plays a handoff to Hawkins, who's immediately met, bounces off 2 tackles, will pass the ball, fires the ball to Eric Moore, who runs up the sideline to about the 14-yard line. Whitehead under center. Here's the play. He's going to step back and pass the ball. He's got Ray Hawkins. Touchdown, Bowie State. Hawkins out of the backfield will score. This game is tied.
Whitehead's 2 touchdowns tied the game and sent it into overtime, where BSU's Glenn Newell got 6 the hard way.
Kick is low. Picked up by Bowie State, but once again, a low kick. No! Is that Glenn Newell with the football? Unless they're saying you can't advance the ball, that's, I wonder about the...
It was blocked behind the line of scrimmage. They should be able to advance it.
They
As
have
you
to
see, Sherman Wood wants to get an up-close and personal explanation of this.
The touchdown stood, and it was up to the Bulldogs defense now to seal up the win.
The handoff to Braxton finds nothing in the middle of that defense. The handoff will go to London, who stretches out. Joe Adams with the nice play on the end. It'll be another handoff to London, who is stopped short of a first down for Bowie State. A ball stops right here. The big one, and you don't want him to jump off sides. Bowie State is up 23-20. It's a handoff to London. He finds no room. The Bulldogs hold. The Bulldogs win. 23-20, and that is Joe Creasy showing excitement. Rondell Prather and the Bulldogs will celebrate at midfield.
The victory put Bowie State at 2-2. And with Gannon next on the list, the Bulldogs were now poised to make their run at the top.
Woo!
Hey, baby, hey, baby. Shut him down, shut him down! Been here too long for this now. Let's work. Come on, baby. Come on, don't fool around now. Let's go.
The Gannon game saw William Mack under center once again, but without the services of junior running back Ray Hawkins. Filling in for the team's leading scorer was Danny Lewis, who proved to be just as potent.
Danny Lewis pitch out in the backfield. Danny Lewis running to the first down marker. Pitch out. Danny Lewis outside, has some room. Finally brought down with delayed draw to Danny Lewis, and he has room. Danny Lewis to about the 12-yard line. Danny Lewis is doing a pretty good job, bro.
Getting close, but unable to punch it in, the tide of the game quickly turned in favor of Gannon, who rattled off 12 unanswered points.
Handoff to the fullback, and he is churning forward, runs over the safety. The handoff to UCAN. UCAN run far, and he picks up a big gain. Sikowski hands off to the big guy, Sterling Pierce. They give it to their heart and soul, the bread and butter man. Only 6 passing yards. This team likes to run.
Right now, I wouldn't expect anything different from Gannon University.
Once again, they give it to the Ram guy. He's ramming Bowie State's defensive line in the ground here. Touchdown, Gannon University.
Going into the half, the game was quickly becoming the Sterling Pierce show and gradually getting further out of reach.
I'm telling you, okay? We got some things going on. So, hey, get some fire in your eyes. We got to come out the first half. The second half, we got to come out and make something happen, man. Starting with a kickoff return.
The halftime speech and another QB change awoke the sleeping Dogs, who started to wreak havoc immediately on both sides of the ball.
Later with the return. Later has room, has room, has time. Stacy Plater, one guy to beat. Stacy Plater, the 30. Can he go? But a nice return to start the second half for Bowie State. Danny Lewis, lone backer, along with 3 receivers to the far side. Whitehead to pass, has a receiver. Glenn Newell in the end zone for the score. Pressure by Mike Cox. We talked about him, number 72. All-CIAA last season, preseason All-CIAA. Is there with the play. Here's a blitz by Carter. And McGill intercepted by Garland Johnson. And that was good defense that time by 55 and number 5, Warren McGill and Lawrence Carter. Shotgun for Whitehead. Has a receiver, a big one. Whitehead to pass. First down, Bowie State. Nazi Ahmed, churning, running, pulling guys, dragging defenders. Pass complete to Nazi Ahmed. Matt Short making the stop, and the offense led by Whitehead marching down the field. Whitehead, pressure, but the big fella, touchdown, Bowie State. Sikowski has a receiver, tackled immediately by Prather, and that's a floater, and that's a pick. Prather, and he is in the end zone. Touchdown, Bowie State.
The crush of the Bowie juggernaut was simply too much. The 18 unanswered points gave Bowie its second win in a row, and its third on the season.
I think one of the things that started happening approaching the Elizabeth City game is that our kids started to think, or instead of hoping that we win, we expected to win. And it was just a matter of time before we got those things done.
Homecoming at any university always brings out the finest the institution has to offer. But what the Bulldogs did to conference rival ECSU was anything but pretty.
Handoff to the running back, Midget. And Midget might have picked up 2 yards before being brought down by junior Mike Cox. Handoff to Midget. Outside, he tries a goal before being brought down by Sonny Pritchett. Second down, 14. Forbes slips. But finally, almost a sack by Sonny Pritchett. Off to Askew, and he's met at the line of scrimmage. Fumbles the ball, but the officials were saying it was down.
An early score put Elizabeth City on top by 6. But with the return of workhorse Ray Hawkins, the Bowie offense had more than enough weapons to answer back.
Laid handoff to Ray Hawkins. Hawkins has room. 30. Outside, he tries to go. Whitehead rolling out. This time, he'll keep it. That was a bootleg from the start to the finish. Give it to the big guy. Touchdown, Bowie State. Kareem Harris, sophomore from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Counter this time at number 72, Mike Cox.
Saw 3 or 4 horsemen on that play. Like Lorenzo Carter and Harrison were right there, and he spun off of them and ran right into Mike Cox.
Fourth with time. Pressure! Shazam! And Garland there with the sack. Quarterback Forbes. Going to the end zone. Intercepted! Hot Rod Williams has it. Is down. We talked about big plays. Hot Rod Williams with his 5th interception of the season.
Early in the second half, the Vikings scored again, going up by 6. But today, offensive coordinator Larry Archie had every answer.
Hands off to Ray Hawkins, and he scoots forward for about 5, and that was good running. Whitehead to pass, Manson up front, pressure. Damon Wilson with the catch. Near side. Airs it out. Stacy Plater catches it, and it's a touchdown, Bowie State.
Another crushing stop by the Bowie defense gave the ball back to Jimmy Whitehead, where he hooked up again with Stacy Plater to put the game away.
ball to Rayhawk. He has field ahead of him. Rayhawk breaks the tackle, still on his feet, the 40, and finally goes out of bounds. Turner and Raider to the near side. Pass to Later.